so much. The foam things are nice, but there's so much cat hair gets all over them.
That's what I was wondering about Bub's last episode. She kept like picking at it.
Yeah, I was picking at it too.
But it's funny. I just was looking at my Facebook marketplace people who are I'm selling the dirt bike out there.
I know.
Yeah,
it makes me
I know.
so
It sucks.
sad.
It sucks. I know. I have to though. And the people I had lined up before I went on vacation, they like all bought dirt bikes while I was on vacation, and then they proceeded to message me what they bought, and they sent me pictures.
All of them? How many people?
Just one guy. I want to check out this guy though.
Yeah.
He is something else. Check out. I said we were setting up an appointment. I was like getting back tomorrow around noon, and then he wrote me a bunch of crap about he bought a KTM instead.
Oh wow!
He says, "Oh, you'll go post that. You'll get 4K out of it." And then he sends me the pictures of the bike he bought, which is bizarre. But look at this guy. We'll have to throw him up for the viewers.
Oh, Shay.
Oh. The look you have when the dude's like going through filters like crazy. There's a crazy one on here of him shirtless. Look at, like
That's
he is
so weird.
He's got the Let's Go Brandon shirt.
He's like creepy. Like
yeah,
like
that one's not super creepy because he's not taking of the picture himself. There's let me see if I can find it. Yeah, it's in his featured. I remember this because I was looking at him. Maybe never mind.
He's got a lot of pictures.
He does. He's got a lot of. There it is.
Oh.
Yeah, that's like. I was like, I'm kind of glad I didn't meet up with this guy.
It's like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, it's just him in the in the mirror.
Him in the mirror flexing, but you can't see his face or his hands.
I love his profile picture too. It's like every dude over 50 just has that.
Like, oh, time to get a profile picture. I'm going to snap a picture of my head.
And I assume that's his header. I assume those are his children.
Yeah.
On the bike.
It must be.
I really hope they never see his shirtless picture.
Onto his Facebook account.
Oh, he got flagged for false information.
Oh.
That sucks.
Not good. Not good.
Americans are dreamers too. President Donald Trump. This guy's crazy. He's had a lot of different pictures on here.
He's one of those dirt bike guys, They're just it brings people together, really.
It brings them together, but it also brings some weird people out of the woodwork.
Mm-hmm.
So do these Fox bodies, the Ford Mustang, the Fox bodies.
Oh, damn.
Every weird. I've never known a normal person that owns a Fox body.
Yeah.
A CBR and a Fox body. Don't think so, buddy.
Yeah, that means he beats his wife.
Yeah. It doesn't look like he has a wife.
If you have a Fox body Mustang, that means that you beat your wife.
Yeah. I agree with that. But they can be clean. The Fox. I've seen some nice ones. I don't mind the look of them.
I don't mind the look either, but it's kind of just like what it means to have one of those. It's kind of weird. I don't really trust people with Fox body Mustangs.
What about the jacked up like F-150s? What kind of stereotype do you see for them?
It depends. There's two different types of jacked up F-150s. There's like an old truck, but it's not like cool old. It's just old. It's like early 2000s. Like maybe it's like a 2004. Mm-hmm. And it's jacked up with like a cheap lift kit on like cheap wheels and tires. And so it's just like jacked up just for the sake of being jacked up. It's not like a build.
No.
That means that they are mentally insane. Like you don't know what to expect. They want to get in fights. They're at bar fights.
That's a retarded person.
They drive that thing drunk all the time.
What about 2010 and newer?
So 2010 and newer, what you find is those like 22-inch chrome snowflake rims.
Yeah, we got a couple of them next to our place.
Yep, and those little rubber band tires on them. And it means that you're either you're like one of those poser country guys. where you think that you're so country, but you're just not at all.
You're not. You
And
work in construction.
Maybe you work in construction, but as like a project manager. Like you don't actually really get your hands that dirty.
Yeah,
you sit in
I
the
can
air
see that,
conditioned
yeah.
trailer at the job site, and you're just telling the like Hispanics what to do.
Bro, I'll be honest. I just thought about it. I've never thought about what those guys do for work. I never see them working.
No, they're called mall crawlers because they don't actually take them off road. Because you can't. You hit a pothole, you ruin your $1,300 wheel. But there's a perfect little sweet spot of those lifted trucks where they're like actually done right. It's like 50%, suspension. It's like real suspension lift, and it's got like big, expensive, meaty tires on these like little, like steel wheels, and that thing is just like can go anywhere, and it's some dude who just is actually like a real person who's just
you
into.
don't see that like here
Very
that much.
rarely,
and it especially in the truck world.
Yeah.
No shot. It's
No.
like if people are doing that, they're on their Jeep. I see a lot of Jeeps like that, like 4Runners.
Yeah.
But like the truck community is just so botched here.
Because if you just lift a truck with like a cheap lift, it's not any more capable. It can't do anything. It's actually just, you can't do as much because you can't go around turns anymore, and you can't like. But if you do it right, it's super expensive and it's a lot of work, but it turns into this crazy machine. And every once in a while you see them, and those are just like the normal people, but most of them are either that like. Really, it's just the difference is like poor versus rich redneck.
Yeah.
Which one are you?
I like what they do on the West Coast with the pre-runner builds.
Yes.
Where they take like a smaller truck and then invest all the money into the suspension
and frame. And they're usually 2-wheel drive. And they've got like this giant trailing arm rear suspension and like crazy suspension up front. And they're like just fiberglass bodies. They're so
sick.
Cool.
They're sick and they can go anywhere.
And they can go like 90 miles an hour through dunes and
sand,
like bumps and sand and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, those trucks are rad. But they are. My buddy on the West Coast was telling me his buddy put like $40K into his Ranger.
$40K into a Ranger.
It's money though.
It is crazy modifying vehicles because I've started going down a rabbit hole of modifying my motorcycle a little bit, and it's very expensive to do like anything. Like just relatively, if you're modifying a car, you're making it do something that it, didn't normally do. Lowering it, lifting it, changing how it handles, changing how it rides, like any of that. It's going to be really expensive to do, and it doesn't add almost any value to the car. Sometimes it takes away value.
I wonder what like the engineers of these cars are like. Yeah. The ones who actually create it, they're like, okay, we make it this height because it's got this amount of aerodynamics, and we're gonna build the frame so it works with the aerodynamics really well. They're like, I just put the big tire on, put a 13-inch lift on it.
They're like, the harmonics of these wheels will work really well with the harmonics of the suspension. This is gonna be the perfect, most smooth ride you can possibly get. Bigger wheels. The wheels are just rubbing on the inside of the car.
Make it taller.
Bigger truck.
And these engineers are just rolling over.
They're so sad.
I can imagine that.
They worked just years like apprenticing, designing stuff, and they finally got to like be a designer for Ford. They're designing the suspension of the modern F-150, and people are just raping their designs as soon as they get it. They're putting cheap Chinese parts all in the truck that don't work right.
They're jacking up a EcoBoost. That's so hilarious. What do you think of like when
Windows
virus protection?
I have a virus.
What do you think of when like the rich guys put like Liberty Walk kits on Aventadors or
that,
like doing crazy stuff to crazy cars?
Modifying hypercars or modifying. What?
need to run that back. We need to clip it, put it on the freaking. What the frick was that?
I'm not sure what that was.
Oh,
Yeah. So modifying the supercars is crazy because it's like you already spent that much money on a car, which means that you've got a lot of money.
mm-hmm.
And then to be like, yeah, I'm gonna mod it out is kind of crazy to do.
Yeah, it is crazy. I don't know if it. I always come to like a fork in the road when I think about this. Like, if I were to buy something crazy, but I had unlimited money, would I mod it out or whatever? But I'm like, I don't know. Like, they're so crisp off the factory line.
They're very crisp. But I saw a Liberty Walk Ferrari the other day that looked so good.
Really?
But if I got like a Porsche, I would not.
Really?
If I got a hot like a supercar that was like German, I don't think I could because they're so precision tuned for like the racetrack.
Yeah.
You can't take, but you buy like one of those Porsche like 911 GT3s, they already look so good. I mean, so do the Ferraris, but the Ferrari is kind of more. I mean, I guess the Ferrari is kind of like a race-inspired car, but it also just seems like kind of like a flex.
Mm-hmm.
So does especially the Aventador. Like the Lamborghinis always seem to me like the most flex. Like
Yeah, they're kind of like hype beast cars.
they're more like an art form than a car. They're like more design and art focused than car focused.
Well,
Even though they are.
Every rich kid wants a Lambo.
Yeah.
Like they're not like, I want a 911 Turbo or whatever.
But
Daddy, I want a Lambo truck.
please give me a Lambo.
Dang, I saw one of those kids downtown Raleigh one time.
Really?
And I had to control my emotions because I got such like, my first emotion was like just to like tear him apart. And I'm like, wait, what if you like did something for that? I don't know.
Yeah,
it was
like,
so
what if
weird
you
because it
worked
was
for it?
definitely was a college student driving like a Huracan.
Damn.
And I didn't know how to think. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah,
My gut reaction was like, that kid's an idiot, man. I hate that kid.
It's crazy though, because that's all. It's the perspective, that wealth perspective thing. Like, even just sitting here, like in air conditioning, we're still in the like top echelons of society.
Top 1%, baby.
We really like of all the world, we're way up there. People are like, you get a car when you're 16. Like traditionally in American, a lot of people get cars when they're 16, even if it's like a, $1,000 Honda Civic that barely runs.
Yep.
Like it's theirs and they share it with a sibling. Even still, it's like you get that alone is crazy.
Mine was a Cherokee, but I had to pay for it. But it was $650.
Yeah,
It wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah. It's not too bad.
Ran on 5 out of 6 cylinders for like 30,000 miles though, which is kind of crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I wish you would have like heard it before it exploded and I put a new engine in it. It was crazy. It sounded like a diesel almost.
That is cool.
And it just ran.
That's weird. Yeah,
It ran for like 2 years.
I was just talking to my brother. He's working on his girlfriend has a Wrangler. I think it's like
I've seen it.
2010.
I've seen it.
I don't know what year it is, but it's not new. And it has like the 4-wheel drive is like the transfer case is busted out, or it's missing a front drive shaft or something. It's only 2-wheel drive.
Yeah.
And it always makes this like awful sound when you go over bumps and stuff. And we just never knew what it was. And he said he was riding his motorcycle behind her driving it.
Yeah.
And he was watching like one of the shocks was just moving like so wrong. Like it wasn't compressing. It was just like going up. And so he looked under it and there was like a broken bracket and the shock has just been coming up through the bottom of the car.
Oh my God.
Just like going through the floorboard and just coming up into the car, poking into the car and coming back down.
Nobody knew?
No, that car is just a piece of work though. All around it sucks. Like there's so many issues with it.
Frick.
It gets like, but it's just that Jeep thing. And we were even talking about that. Like you get like that Jeep's probably worth like a bunch of money still.
Yeah.
And it's busted up state.
It's just they're so easy to work on. It's crazy. I drove my uncle's Wrangler while I was in Texas.
Yeah.
I just love it so much. It's just the Jeeps are so much different than every other car on the market that it's just like, there's something about them. It's a Jeep thing.
It's a Jeep thing. I like the Cherokees. I think if I were going to do a Jeep build, I would start with the Cherokee platform.
I would probably do like a 80s or 90s Wrangler.
Yeah.
I think those are super sweet.
They are.
I think they're like the CJ7 or whatever.
I think that's what my grandpa had. He had one of the yellow ones. You know, all those. They were
Yeah.
all like, most of them were yellow for whatever reason.
They're just so cool. Eventually, I want my daily driver to be. I mean, I need a truck, but also I'd like some sort of nice Wrangler.
Huh.
Not a like a. I want a 2-door
Yeah.
hard top because the newer ones, not super new, but in the past 20 years, they do the hard top where you can take it off.
Uh-huh.
You don't have to soft top it.
I like the hard top. Like, yeah, like exactly what you said. The hard
Mhm.
tops that come off. Because the soft tops look like junk after a
Yeah,
little
they
bit.
do, and they perform like junk. Like they don't actually like do anything.
I like the bra tops where you take the like you take all the top off and it just kind of like stretches over the like roof rails or whatever, and it's not a real full top. It's just for driving around like in like the summer where it gives you a little bit of shade, but it's still like all open. They made those for the Miatas. There's like a little just like you're kind of in under a top, but
Yeah,
not
but
really.
not really.
I tell you, that sounds like so much fun. Being at the beach in a Jeep with the top off, just pulling up onto the beach and
Even being
hanging
at
out.
the Jeep or at the beach in the Cherokee was fun.
Yeah.
And that wasn't a drop top. It was just like, can this thing make it?
Yeah.
That's the thing about the Jeep. It's always fun because you don't know
Yeah.
what's going to happen next.
That was like the Miata felt like that because it was making way too much power, and it was so small and so hot. Like it ran hot anyway, and then if it was summer, I couldn't keep the top up because the AC would overheat the car, so I'd have to put it down, and then it was just you were baking, like broiling in this car. We drove all the way to New Jersey in July.
I remember when you did that.
And we were just like pounding waters. So much water, and we did not pee once the whole trip. But it was so much fun. And I don't think I would have sold that car if I hadn't had that trip under my belt, because it was just, for whatever reason, it was so much fun.
Yeah.
But I still the most fun I've ever had on the road ever has been on my motorcycle.
I agree. The motorcycle is a different fun level.
I want to take it all over once it starts to get warm again. I got brand new tires on it, and I'm ready to. Yeah, I went and on Facebook Marketplace, this guy is like parting out the exact bike that I have.
Yeah.
And he was like, everything's for sale basically. And it was a couple weeks ago, and I was like, I want to see, I need new tires soon, so I'll see what he wants for the wheels and tires. And I was like, I won't even. It's probably too much. And then I saw the post up again a week or two later, and I was like, well, what is the harm in asking? I'm just going to ask him because I was getting closer to needing tires. And I asked him, and he said 100 for the wheel and tire, 50 for just the wheel. And I was thinking,
that's really
like,
good.
that's not too bad. But then I was like, wait, does he mean for both? And so I messaged him. I was like, so $100 and I'll get both wheels and tires? And he was like, yes. And I was like, okay, I'm on my way.
Yeah.
They're like brand new tires on these wheels that he had powder coated silver. And they're a little like dingy,
Yeah.
but they're still, and they have brand new bearings in them. Like they're just, it
Are
was
you
just
gonna
a
put
really
them? Are
good
you just
deal.
gonna swap them on?
They're already on. I
Oh,
put
really?
them on yesterday.
Ooh.
So, because I ran through my old tire. I got to the bands or to the.
Did
like,
you?
Yeah.
I haven't even gotten to my bands.
Did you? You don't have new tires on your bike yet?
Not
do you?
yet. Oh my god.
Yeah, I tore right through it. I put like 6,000 miles on that bike in like 6 months though.
Mm.
And that was
your
mostly,
miles are pretty aggressive miles.
They are pretty aggressive miles. I was tearing up the roads the other day, It just I went to visit Bubs at school, which that's like that ride out there is just all these twisty back roads.
It's great.
And it's all like I was doing like 80 miles an hour the whole way. And when I was leaving her school, I was some moped dweeb pulled out in front of me on his moped.
God.
And we were kind of like going through the 35 mile per hour zone anyway, so I wasn't like too worried about it because he could do that. And then once we hit the 55, I was like, oh my gosh, he's going so slow. and he was just like pissing me off because I don't mind people who have like a DWI and they have to ride the moped.
Yeah.
Because they're just, they're out there getting around and that's their only way to get around. Whatever. They messed up. Whatever. But the people who are like, I'm going to be so cool and get a moped. Those people bother me, and that's what it felt like.
That's what he was?
That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
So he's just pissing me off.
Going against the grain.
Yeah, and I'm right behind him. And I have enough room to pass him in the lane, but I just didn't want to deal with that. So I just wait until I have enough room, and then I just downshift, and I'm at like 7,000 or 8,000 RPM. Just blast by him. Just break his eardrums. And I just kept accelerating until I hit like 100 and turned the corner. And he's
my God.
I just wanted him to feel bad.
Yeah.
I wanted him to feel upset that he had his moped and kind of inspire him to go get a real bike.
Yeah, maybe he was just poor. He can't afford. That's all he could afford. He doesn't have a car.
Mopeds are just as expensive as like a cheap Honda Shadow.
Yeah, you're right.
They're expensive.
You're right. Maybe he didn't know. Maybe
he didn't know. But I just wanted to kind of give him a little bit of like a shove in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
So I blew his eardrums out, passed him at 80. I was so
shove
mad.
in the wrong direction.
I was so mad.
I hate motorcyclists. I hate them.
Yeah, I'm selling my moped. No, like I said, I don't mind.
Poor guy.
And then on the way I get up to a 4-way stop, right? And it's a big intersection for whatever reason. It's just like one of those spaced out 4-way stops. And there's no one directly in front of me. There's nobody to the left, but to the right, there's a van. And right in front of me is a truck. And the truck starts like waving me around him. And which I like when people let me pass when they do it right. But this was just causing issues.
Yeah.
So, and he waved me a couple times. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I like pull up around him. And he's already at the stop line. So I'm past the stop line. And then the van is so confused, they don't even go. And then I'm just waiting, and they're not going. And then I start going, and they start going. So I have to go around them. It was so irritating.
That's a really bizarre situation. And you look in your rear view, and the moped guy's like,
yeah, he's catching up.
Your heart starts to pump. Boom, 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 boom. Why aren't these guys going? Go!
The moped guy.
I could see him I know exactly what you're talking about.
It just, like I said, I have no problem with a moped, and in like, but you're on a 55 mile per hour road on a little bike that is not meant to go that fast, and and you can.
That's true.
Like if you had done it right, you could have gotten a motorcycle for that price. I'm sure.
Good. Well, you're gonna see me out there on my new road bike.
On a new road bike?
On my new road bike. That's what I went to Texas for, to pick up a...
Oh, yeah. I have... Yeah, you're talking about a bicycle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every time I go to work, almost every time, I go, it's also on kind of like back roads. And there's this one dude, he's like a bigger dude. He's got to be like at least 6 foot and like 250.
Too much.
Like he's a big guy. He's riding his bike for hours every morning. Every morning he's on his road bike. And I don't have a problem with him because he's on the like he's already on the kind of like the back roads. He's not on the like most populated road in town. and he's cruising around, and he's kind of just sticking to his you know his position in the lane, and he's just cool. I've come to respect him because I'm usually on my bike, you know, my motorcycle, and he's on his little road bike, and I pass him all the time, or I'm going the other way, and but I get so bothered when the cyclists ride, especially when it's like a trafficked time.
Oh yeah,
on
I know.
the main, like even if it's not a big road, like around here we have roads that are not big roads, but they're still the like main motorway. They're still the
exactly.
way you
we have
go.
like the east-south or the
Yeah.
east-west, north-south roads that just everyone is on, even though we're kind of out of the city. It's like
There's still those roads.
everyone lives around here, so
Yeah.
everyone's gonna be flying down them to get home, and
there's just like one or I hate when it's two riding side by side, just blocking, and there's a whole line of traffic behind them.
Yeah.
And they get mad. Like I don't mind people will ride bicycles on the roads. Like it's fine. I get it. It's kind of cool. Like it's a cool place to ride, but I just get so mad when they're on those roads. It's like 45 mile per hour speed limit, and they're just blocking traffic. They're just trying to get where they need to go.
Yeah, I know. And I feel like they're like they feel good about blocking traffic. Like they're getting off to it. I can't stand those guys.
I'll tear by some of those people on my bike too.
But I'm about to be one. Become the
Just
enemy.
go to the right places at the right times.
I think my plan right now, if it's nice tomorrow, I'm gonna go drive to the vet, you know, down our road, Old Stage. You go all the way down to 210, and then there's a vet right there.
Yeah.
There's that building. I'm gonna park at the vet.
Yeah.
And then ride towards the Campbell from there.
Yeah, those are roads where it kind of makes sense. Like people can pass around you very easily, and you're not like causing traffic incidents. That's fun. It's all about where you are and what time you're there. Is what gets to me.
Yeah, I'm not here to cause problems. I just want to train.
Yeah. Well, you're going to do the dodecahedron.
Dodecahedron, April 17th.
April 17th. What is it actually? It's a triathlon?
It's a triathlon. I'm starting with something small. So it's just like a 1,500 meter swim, which is like, how is that, half a mile? Something like that.
That's a ways though, right?
It's a ways. I mean, it'll probably take like 20 minutes or something.
Okay. Swimming takes a lot though.
Yeah. So it's like 1,500 meter swim, and then it's a 30-mile bike, and then a 10K run. So I think the bike will take like a little bit more than an hour, probably like hour 15, hour 20.
Yeah.
And then the run, it'll take like, I don't know, under an hour, probably in the 40-minute range, under 40 minutes. Not under 40 minutes. That would be crazy.
How far is it? It's a 10K?
Yeah, the runs. So it's kind of like, it's technically like a sprint triathlon.
Yeah, because they're shorter.
Yeah. So I just want to do it to like see how it feels like with all the transitioning and stuff. Because my uncle was telling me, is like, that's kind of the most botched part. Because when you're riding, you're just riding, and then when you're running. But like getting out of a wetsuit into your cycle gear, and then getting out of your cycle gear into running gear is kind of a pain, and you got to kind of learn how to do it.
Yeah, I could see that.
And I
especially
want to learn
out of the wetsuit.
Yeah, I want to learn how to do that before I, spend $1,000 on an Ironman ticket.
Is it that expensive?
I think it's $600.
Because I guess there's a lot of infrastructure for like handling the bikes and handling all the gear. And
I mean, they're like the main triathlon.
Yeah.
Or endurance triathlon. So you get a lot of cool stuff too. Not $600 worth of stuff, but it's like, it's a $600 experience for sure, as far as like I've heard. And my uncle's done 2 or 3.
Really?
So he's gone back. He's gone back to the bike I have has finished a Ironman.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And that bike I have, it won. So there's a Ironman in Hawaii. That's like the main Ironman.
Yeah.
World's best Ironmanners go to this one. You have to qualify. You have to make like a certain time to get it.
Wow.
And all the athletes go out to this place, Kona, Hawaii,
Uh-huh.
to do it. And in 2009, I think that's when that bike came out.
Yeah.
2009, that bike won it. Won the like world championship.
Really?
Ironman, yeah, which is pretty cool.
With who? Not your uncle. Was it your
No,
uncle?
no. That model of bike.
Oh.
Not that exact bike.
Okay. I was gonna say that's amazing.
yeah. It's kind of cool. It's a super nice bike.
It's crazy. It's built like an airplane.
It's built like an airplane, and it's so light, and it feels so weird to ride because you're so top heavy. It weighs whatever, like 20 pounds, and then you sit on it, and like I'm 170 pounds,
Yeah.
so you're like
All the way
3 feet above. You're like on a little stick.
Yeah.
It's a really weird feeling, but I gotta get used to it still.
They've got some really nice greenways around here too.
I know, but the thing about it is it just eats up miles.
Yeah.
I was riding around my uncle's house,
Yeah.
and you're like, you can go 10 miles in less. You can go 10 miles in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's like, because if you're like just pedaling kind of casually in a higher gear, you're going 22, 25 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's quick.
It's kooky, and it's got you saw the lay down bars on it.
Yeah.
So you get even faster.
You're like hunched down over on this
Mm-hmm.
tiny, or like it's not small. It's a decent sized bike, but it weighs like nothing.
It weighs nothing. The clip-ins are like a game changer.
Because you can pull up.
Yeah, and once I started pulling up,
Yeah.
I was like averaging like 5 mile an hour faster, and like my quads weren't burning out. It's like a weird. I gotta practice that for sure.
Yeah, because when you're on like regular pedals, all you can do is push down on them.
Mm-hmm.
But on
Which I've been doing my entire life.
Yeah.
So that's what you just mash.
Uh-huh.
But now it's like a whole motion.
With the clip-ins, yeah, you're pulling it up, and you also don't have to worry about keeping like the ball of your foot on the pedals. It just keeps them
it's
in.
there, and you can adjust them too. So your knees are in a different position, and you get more power. But I didn't get it like fitted. I don't think I'm gonna get it fit. I can just watch videos about how to do it.
They have like professional bike fitters.
Yeah, you take your bike, and they get the seat right because you want your knee to be in a certain position
Yeah.
at the bottom of the pedal stroke to get the most power and efficiency.
Yeah.
And then if your gait, they measure your gait, so it's like if you're pronated or over whatever,
Oh.
they set your clips differently, and it's a whole thing. Especially your handlebars, they set.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's pretty crazy. Yeah, those bikes get expensive.
I know.
You can easily spend like $10K on a bicycle.
Yeah.
Especially those really high-end road bikes and then those really high-end mountain bikes.
Mm-hmm.
The high-end mountain bikes are built like a dirt bike.
They are, yeah. They're so cool.
Yeah.
I wish I was super into mountain bike when I bought that K2 that I have.
Yeah.
I was super into mountain bikes, and that was the kind of only one I could afford. But I was like watching videos of these guys. They had the Giant. I've always wanted one of those Giants with the freaking Fox shocks in the front that have like 9 inches of travel.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like they can go over stuff and take landings literally like a dirt bike.
Like a dirt bike. And sometimes it's even almost better than a dirt bike
Yeah.
because they're lighter.
It's so crazy watching them just tear around the downhill. Like the downhill stuff is the craziest to me, where they're just like tearing through the woods on a bicycle.
I know.
And it just looks like they're crashing the whole time, but they don't crash. And they're just like, you just get like one of those fixed shots where it just like is on a turn, and you just see like guys just they're doing like 40 miles an hour through these like dirt turns in the middle of the woods.
So satisfying.
Some of
those
huge crashes are
huge. Yeah, if you crash, you're dead.
You're like, it's done. It's done.
I've always wanted to go to that. Whistler Park in Canada.
No.
It's like the mecca of mountain biking.
Okay.
I'm not really that great at mountain biking, but I've always wanted to go there because they have like, you start at the top of this just giant mountain, and we got so many nice runs. Oh my god.
That's cool. Well, the place we went skiing has it's mountain biking in the summer.
Yeah, I saw it going up the like lifts.
Uh-huh.
you can see the mountain bike berms and everything, the jumps. They should do something like that with the skis. A berm feels pretty nice on skis.
A berm on skis would be cool. I'm so sad I missed the skiing trip.
I know, 'cause there was one run that it had a big like slope, and every time I would go down this run, I would ride the slope, and I would get kind of sideways, and then it would just end, and you would just kind of jump off.
That's cool.
And it was pretty rad. It's not as exciting as like I make it sound, but it felt exciting to me because I'm pretty new to skiing.
Yeah, the last time I went skiing, like I was kind of just falling down the mountain the whole time, but it was fun. I almost died a couple times, but
that's what it is. Oh my god! And the snowboarders, I gotta say, I got a little rant. Freaking snowboarders are. I'm not even saying this because I'm a skier. They're menaces. They're menaces to the hill. It doesn't even make sense what they do. It's like I was going down this huge run, whatever. It was like a blue run. It wasn't anything crazy.
Yeah.
But for some reason I just like to go fast. That's all I like to do.
Yeah.
And so I'm like flying down like maybe 30 miles an hour, and I come over this crest of the hill, and like 6 snowboarders are just sitting in a circle listening to music on their JBL. I'm like 15 feet away from them. I'm going 30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I immediately like have to cut over, and I just freaking nuke this other skier.
Yeah.
And I go flying 100 yards. He's like, "Are you good?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. What are these guys doing?"
Yeah.
That happened on multiple occasions where there was just so many accidents because the snowboarders just like drop trowel in the middle of the run. Makes no sense.
The thing that I noticed when I was there is that all of the like, if you wanted to like rank everybody on the mountain by skill, it's like almost all of the snowboarders, and then the beginner skiers, and then there's a bigger range of like skill level of skiers.
Yeah.
But all the snowboarders, almost all of them are at the bottom, and then at the very top are like 3 snowboarders.
There's 3 really good snowboarders,
and they're like the best people on the whole mountain.
Yep.
They're doing like watching them go down like the Black Diamond. They're doing like a jump and skipping half the thing. They're doing like 80. It's crazy. And then, but all of the like most 90%, of them
like
are just
5,000 of them,
and every single one of them that gets off the lift falls.
Yep.
And then they just fly into people,
including Ray was snowboarding that go around. I rode the lift with her one time, and she's like, I was like, "Have you fallen yet?" She's like, "No, I actually haven't." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm just gonna scoot over just to make sure." She freaking comes right into me, and like I fall, and her board flips up sideways, and I fall with my forearm like and my bone like caught all my weight, and I had this huge bruise there for like a couple weeks. It was brutal, but yeah, that's just snowboarders in a nutshell. They want to hurt you.
They want to cause damage.
They want to end your day. Dude, there's so many people getting wheeled out on stretchers.
I know, it's weird. And you got those, they're skiing with the stretcher and like blowing the whistle. It's so eerie to watch. And the people are just like, look dead. Every single one of them looks dead.
And then we go down and we go back up the gondola or the chairlift. And then we go back down until it's our turn to be wheeled off.
I nearly passed on the trip that I went on. I was like so close to dying once when I almost hit the giant pillar. It was like I was maybe 3 feet from it.
They should probably put some like cushion on that one.
They put like the safety fence out, and I went right through it. I was like it was nothing.
It's funny. They put a guardrail and you just blow right through it.
Have you seen that there's this guy who his daughter died in a car accident because of a guardrail that was put in backwards?
Yeah, I did. And he's going around.
He goes around all over like the country just inspecting guardrails. And he's like, this one's backwards and that one over there is backwards. This tether needs to be that way, not this way. And literally, it either guides you along the side of the thing or it murders you if it's backwards. And so that's what happened to his daughter. So instead of like just, I don't know, he's like taking the most wholesome approach to grieving I've ever seen.
That's weird. That's still in my mind because I saw one video of that guy like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
But
It's a powerful. The videos are powerful because it's like it's just a. I don't know. That seems like such a hard thing to go through. Is like the loss of a you know, a family member, and then to see somebody really handling it that way is just so like kind of, I don't know, inspiring in a weird way.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the guy's a trooper.
Yeah,
that's for sure. But I feel like I've only watched one of the videos, but these guys who set up the guardrails don't really know what they're doing.
No, it seems like they don't. He's finding them like all over the place.
Yeah, like in the video I watched, he had like maybe 3 or 4 guardrails, and they were all wrong.
And they were all in the same area.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, this one, you see what he was explaining why I was wrong, and then he just pans over and he's like, that one's wrong, and that one's wrong over there.
I hope he's getting paid to do that. I hope someone's paying him.
Yeah.
Because that would suck. That would suck to not get paid.
That would suck to not be making money.
I mean, driving all over the freaking place and then
saving
people's lives. And the people who are supposed to get it done are getting paid for not doing it right.
I've always thought if I was like infinitely rich, I would put together a pickup truck that was just made for just helping people change tires and fix cars and stuff, have a bunch of tools and stuff, and just drive up and down the highway. Like if I was bored, because I'd love to like build out a custom truck for that. Would be so cool. And then just because I see people on the side of the road sometimes, and I'm like, I wish I don't have anything to help.
Yeah.
And they're getting their thing handled. And it's like, so I'm not really prepared to do anything. I did change a random girl's tire on the side of the highway before, and it was the most ridiculous situation because that was when I first started dating Bubs, and she was with her friend or whatever, and she sent me a Snapchat, and she had like black mark on her hand. I was like, that looks like she's changing a tire.
Yeah.
And then I like realized where she was somehow, and I realized she's on the side of the road, and so she's really close to my apartment, so I just drove over there, and I pull in behind. There's 2 cars stopped. Mm-hmm. Their car, another car, and then I stop behind that other car, and I walk over to them, and she's changing the tires. She's fine. She's got it handled. Mm-hmm. But behind her is this other girl who just is a mess. She's freaking out. Like her tire's out.
Yeah.
So I changed the tire on her car.
So Bubs is changing her.
She's changing her own tire. She's got it handled, but the girl behind her doesn't. So I'm changing the other girl's tire, while Bubs is changing her own tire, and then we get them both sorted. No. They just both leave, and I'm like, that was so weird. And the girl's like. She's like digging through her car. It's kind of dirty, trying to find money. And she's like, I have some money for you. And she pulls out a 20. And I'm like, that's all you're going to get?
That's it?
No. I'm like, there's no way I'm taking your money for that. That took me like 3 minutes. And you look like you need it. I was like, just drive to the tire shop and get your tire fixed.
Was Buzz mad?
No, she was like, why'd you come out here? Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. I thought you were
2 girls changing tires.
It's so funny. And I couldn't believe she was stopped right behind her. It was just an interesting
That's really weird
situation.
Why'd you come out here? Yeah, Bubs would have changed it.
Yeah, she would have.
Yeah.
She would have changed it afterwards. It's so funny. But I didn't know that she could handle that like that yet. I just didn't I didn't know that yet.
See, that should also be like a mandatory class in high school
Changing
or middle school.
A tire?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everyone does it at some point.
Yeah.
It takes 1 day to do that class. 1 day instead of lecturing someone about some stupid president or something.
Yeah. The other thing that would help is if like we got reminders every once in a while to fill up our spare tires.
Yeah,
because I've filled up my spare tire like 3 times ever, and I feel like I'm in the minority of people who have
You're
actually
in the
ever
minority.
filled it.
I've never filled a spare. I mean, on my Jeep, I had a full-size spare that I kept good, but
I've got a full-size spare under my pickup truck
yeah.
that you like crank down,
Mhm.
and I fill it up every once in a while when I think about it. But and all those people with those tiny donut spares, those fill up to like crazy high pressure, and if you don't
Mhm.
have that, you're just gonna blow that one too.
Yeah.
Nobody fills up their spare tire.
That's true. I don't.
Until you need it and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I hope this thing has air in it.
Good thing I always got people on call.
Yeah.
That's also a plus.
It's stressful when you have to pull over and it's like something's wrong and you're far from home.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Done that a few times.
Yeah.
I think, where was that? That was in Missouri. That was the furthest I've been from home and something like catastrophic.
That was when your distributor
yeah.
stopped working. Weren't you on the side of the road for like hours?
Yeah, I think it was 18 hours.
Dang.
18 hours till I got it fixed. Because it ended up like, I always carry that little code reader with me.
Yeah.
And it popped a code when it started doing stuff. It sounded, again, like a diesel engine.
Yeah.
And I pulled over, and we were in the middle of nowhere, Missouri. And we actually like crawled it into a gas station. And the code reader was reading some sort of sensor. I forgot what it was called. Some sort of sensor. It said the sensor was bad.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, we need to get this part. So we had our friend. We had 3 friends and or 3 people in the car.
Yeah.
And we had one, Graham. You know him.
Mm-hmm.
He ran to the closest town, which was 5 miles down the freeway. He got the part, ran back. So he had a little clean 10-mile run.
Yeah.
And got back, and I threw the new part in and fired it up. Didn't work. I was like, oh, God, this is terrible. So I called a guy that knows a lot about Jeeps,
Yeah.
Brad. And I asked him, and he's like, I don't really know. And he's like, inspect the coil pack or whatever. So I took the coil pack off and was like looking at everything, make sure it was good. It was all good. And then I forgot. I went online. I must have went online, and someone said like similar symptoms was a distributor issue.
Yeah.
I was like, what the frick is a distributor? And then like right after I learned about what it was, some freaking dude pulls in. He's like, hey, I work at an auto parts store. You guys need help? I'm like, yeah. We'd been sitting there for like, 8 hours.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, we actually do. I need a part, and I don't know where to get it. He's like, all the auto parts stores were closed. It was like night.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I actually have the key to my auto parts store. I'll go run and get it for you. I'll be back in about an hour. I was like, what the frick? And so he was back in like an hour and 15, hour 20. He gave me the part, and the hard thing about it was, did he leave? I think the guy left. He's like, oh, have a good day. He was an angel sent by God himself.
Yeah. That's
weird. I can't even believe that. But I put the part in. It sounded the same as when I had the old one in there. So I was like, what is going on? And then I realized you have to line up the timing. So I think that took about 5 or 6 tries.
Yeah, because you had to line up the timing with no tool.
With no tool, and all I had was on the distributor, there's a little tiny line.
Yeah.
On the the gear that goes in.
Uh-huh.
And you have to line the line up with the line down in there.
Yeah.
So, but you can't see it once it starts wrapping in, so you don't know if it's lined up or not. And so it took me. So the process was, you put the distributor in, you take the coil pack off, you have to top dead center you have to spin the flywheel.
Yeah.
To get the piston to top dead center, the number 1. And then you have to put the coil pack back on and then try it. And that was, I think, 6 or 7 times I had to do that. I think it took maybe 35 minutes to try. and I finally got it. It was like, I think I had been working all night, and I think it was like 6:20 in the morning or something. It fired up during the night too. It was like it started raining like pretty hard.
Yeah.
So I was just like whatever, and I put a tarp over everything, and I was like just under the tarp, like just wrenching. Yeah, it was like after he brought us the distributor, it was like probably 10 hours of just like just getting after it. At one point I went in, it was kind of like a truck stop, and I went in and like took a shower, like cleared my mind, and came back out. I think that was at like 3 a.m.
And then did you just sleep and let somebody else drive?
I actually drove. I drove to where we needed to get to because I didn't want anyone else driving the car.
Yeah.
Because it happened when someone else was driving the car.
Oh.
And so I'm like, I need to feel it. I need to feel what's going on.
Yep.
I didn't trust anything. But yeah, that was probably the craziest like away from home breakdown I've ever had.
That's kind of awesome though when like after the fact that it worked out. It's kind of an awesome story.
Oh, it was so crazy. I cried when it fired up and it sounded normal. It was like such like the endurance of the soul.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you know how frustrating it is to work on a car.
Even when you're at home.
And it not work.
Yeah.
And you're like, why isn't it working? And then you have to do it over and over and over and over. And you're in the middle of nowhere, Missouri, like 30 hours from home. And yeah, that's it. It was such a crazy situation.
Yeah, that's not.
And then I drove it to Colorado, and my sway bar links broke. So I just took the sway bar out, and we were rolling down the highway, and it was like it was just rocking back and forth until we found some auto parts store somewhere, and I got new links. Put those bad boys in.
That's the Jeep thing, is that they just break left and right, and you have to be willing to wrench on them.
Yeah. It's funny because they break, but I can't say they're not reliable.
Yeah.
Because there was never a moment where I'm like, there was never a moment where I was like, I can't go on. I need to call a tow truck. It's always something like small that you have to do.
Yeah.
It's never like
it's like a puzzle.
Those inline 6-cylinder engines, they just go forever. Like I said, it went 30,000 miles, and one of the cylinders was not moving.
Yeah.
So, or not making any power. So, I don't even know how it did that, but they just do it. The transmissions are fine.
Yeah, that's pretty insane.
It's just all the stuff around the engine and the transmission that you might have to wrench on. But that's not a big deal.
It's not really. It's fun if you like doing that.
Yeah.
Right now, I feel like I was in that spot yesterday where all my transportation or like anything that I own that's a vehicle all needs stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like the truck needs an oil change really bad, and it needs when I press the brakes, one of them is kind of sticky in the front, so it steers a little bit when you press the brakes. So that needs to be done like ASAP. And then like my speakers were not working in the truck because they get kind of corroded if I leave them too long, and I need to like clean it out really bad inside and out. And then the bike I had ran through the tire, so I couldn't ride that either. And then that needs an oil change really bad. My dirt bike needs attention, and so I just felt like overwhelmingly like I need to get on top of this stuff yesterday. So I fixed the bike yesterday, which I probably should have fixed the truck first, but I was so excited about the bike. So the truck's getting fixed.
How often do you do your oil in the bike?
I try to do 3,000 miles, but I think it's been longer than that. Yeah.
See, I see some forums say like 3 Gs, and then some say like every 500 miles.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna do 500.
No.
But 3,000 I think makes sense. And on my bike, it's really important you put in conventional oil. because the synthetic will just like ruin the clutch won't work anymore.
I put diesel oil in mine.
Yeah, diesel oil is like the heavy, fully synthetic or fully
I
conventional.
put like the 1540 whatever diesel
Yeah.
oil in it, and it seems to. I mean, nothing's wrong
Yeah,
so far.
it's so fun. I'm so excited for the next bike ride, like a real bike ride
Yeah.
where you're out. You know, I rode all the way to Norfolk, Virginia, just by myself to get that part.
Yeah, that was crazy. Wasn't that like 9 hours?
Yeah, it was like around that, and I mean it was really like 4 hours there, 4 hours back. But I stopped in at Lake Gaston and just dipped in the water on the way back.
That's so nice.
And I found a beer, and I just like I was just in the water, just like almost dead, but I was so happy.
Yeah.
I was like so happy, and so it felt like it had cleared my mind. Like that one day where I just rode my bike all day, and like the roads I was on were these awesome deep back roads through like Virginia and North Carolina.
Yeah.
Like you just can't find that everywhere, you know.
You gotta do a ride like that. As soon as this bike's gone, I'll be able to make the Vulcan
road
fresh.
Ready. Yeah, you got to get some tires on that.
Yeah, I was gonna say the funny thing is she hasn't been road ready, kind of since I got her.
Yeah,
but I've got, I think, almost 5,000 miles on it since I got it.
That's not bad.
Which is pretty good. I don't know what those tires are made of, but they just. I like every time I ride, I'm like, get ready for a blowout.
Yep,
Get ready for a blowout.
I hate that feeling though.
Oh, and it just never happens.
Because if the front tire blows out, you're kind of like, it's down to luck more than skill at that point.
Yeah.
You got to be ready. You can't grab that brake even for a second. You got to
No.
pull hard on your rear brake.
Yeah.
And just like hope.
I've limited the riding, and I'm like, I need to make that a priority before I ride it again. Oh, and I found out, I was like looking for those like phone holders type things, like the X Rams or whatever. My handlebars and my cables are perfectly set up where I can put my phone right on my kind of speedometer area.
Yeah.
And it just stays there. So I can have my GPS up if I need to.
You just set it there?
Yeah.
What if you go over like a bump? It
doesn't fly out.
That's weird.
And there was a couple huge bumps that I had to put my thumb on it. But I'm
That's so sketchy.
Gonna get hear me out. I'm gonna get a little strip of Velcro and put it on the side of my phone and then put it on the handlebars.
Yeah.
So I don't need one of those $90 mounts.
No, I don't have the mount.
It's not worth it.
Dude, I just keep thinking about a trip. I want to do a trip so bad. I've only done 2 so far.
I was gonna say I've done really any.
No, they're
I've
so fun.
I've gone to Gaston that one time.
That I don't even count that. It's not far enough.
Mm-hmm.
It's like once you hit that, you're really somewhere else, and you're just you and other people, or even if it's just you, are just on these bikes that you got all the way somewhere. You're somewhere far away, and you all rode your bikes there.
I want a helmet. I love my helmet.
Yeah,
it does everything I need to do. It doesn't make any weird noises. It's like it fits good. But I want a helmet that really isolates the wind noise.
Yeah.
Like, I know I wear my earplugs, but I don't really want to wear my earplugs.
Yeah.
I want to have a helmet that when you put it on, it's like freaking like a noise canceling helmet or something like that. So
I know what you mean, because my bike is loud.
Yeah, my bike's really loud.
Yeah.
I can't hear squat like at a light or anything. Like if I'm trying to talk to someone, I know this wouldn't help with the helmet, but if I'm trying to talk to someone at a light, I can't hear you.
No, I can't hear anything either. Yeah, that is the one thing. Is it's so fun to have the loud bike, because everybody's like even if you're at, like, I love being at a stoplight and the light changes and they don't see, and you just rev at them, and it's like it's way faster than beeping in a car. They're just like, whoa, and they start going. They're like, what was that?
The revving actually, or a loud bike is like an extra safety feature.
Yeah, and there have been a lot of studies on that which say that it like might not be true, but I feel like it's true.
I don't know how it couldn't be true because you're making more noise.
You're making so much noise, and people notice you
Yeah.
earlier, and they know you're there.
The frick study with it was that?
I don't know. They try and make everything seem like it's not true with a study.
A peer-reviewed study
To make your bike quieter, we did a study.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to silence us.
Yeah, literally.
They can't silence my pipes.
No. Blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah.
I'll pipe them out.
Yeah, you
I'll
should.
pipe it up.
Pipe it up.
Gosh. I want to do something to that bike, but I don't know what.
Yeah, I'm working on. Right now, I just ordered a handlebar risers from a different bike, so my bars will come up a little bit more, and I think I'm gonna order some forward controls for it, so my feet stretch out a little bit more, and that'll start to give me like a nicer like cruising position. I think.
That's what I need. It's a better cruising position.
Yeah.
Because your back really starts to take it after about like an hour. It really starts to burn. But yeah, I need to get one of those throttle locks that you got.
Yeah, and mine is the like. I mean, it's just like the most simple one.
But it works,
just clamps on it. Yeah, it works fine. And it makes a big difference because if you need to use your right hand for something, you can just click it on basically and just use your hand.
That's what I want. It's like I'm good at like whatever, like, casually holding it open, but like being able to take my shoulders down and like, that would make a big difference. I want some new bars though when I'm up here.
You want to go for the apes?
I want some apes, but I feel like I would need to change the style of the bike to get some apes on there.
Yeah.
I need to do a couple things. Make it ape worthy. I need to get that big fairing in the front.
The big fairing and a big ass sissy bar.
Yeah.
Those cool ones.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Dude, the bikes are so I keep saying it because it's so exciting, but I'm just so excited by the motorcycles. It's like my favorite thing about life so far.
It's definitely my favorite thing to drive on the road.
Yeah.
Bar none.
Bar none.
And the thing about it, I know you say you have, I also have more fun on the dirt bikes.
Yeah.
But you can't like ride the dirt bikes every single day.
No.
So like I'm kind of maximizing the fun meter.
Yeah.
Because even if I just need to go run an errand, I'm having a lot of fun running an errand because you're riding the bike around.
I feel like if I have to get in my pickup truck and go drive to the next town over and get something or return something or do some just BS, I'm like, I'm going to use so much gas. It's going to be annoying. But if I have my bike, I'll just like strap the shit that I need to strap to my bike. And I'm like, I'm on my way. Yeah. I'm so excited. I'm like, it's like an adventure.
It is every time. And like, the more you ride, I know my thing that I preach is like, don't get too comfortable.
Yeah.
Like when I'm out on the road, I'm like, don't get too comfortable. But the more I ride, the more I'm more comfortable with doing like different maneuvers.
Yeah.
And it makes it more fun.
It does make it more fun.
By being more like confident and you're quicker with everything on the bike. It's like just being like quick with a 700-pound machine.
Yeah.
Like 80 horses under you is just insane. And it's so much fun. It's so much fun.
And you get like once you get a little bit more confident like that, you get your and you have a couple experiences where you like oh shit experiences and you handle them and you kind of figure out what that means and then you start to get just it's way more fun. It's like you can handle certain things or where people tend to pop out or turn in front of you.
Yeah,
you
especially around here, you kind of learn the roads.
Yep.
I mean, I've been driving them for so long that you kind of know where like the vulnerable spots are going to be and you know where you're kind of safe. I like that about riding around here, but riding those open roads is nice too. Dude, I had a oh crap moment riding with Chandler.
Yeah.
I don't know if I told you about this, but his bike's kind of stalling out because he never changes the battery or he's in too high of something's going on, and I think he's in too high of a gear and he keeps stalling it out.
Yeah.
But we were going on to 540 in Holly Springs. We're getting on the on-ramp, and he's going around the turn, and he stalls out.
Yeah.
And I'm going up the ramp, and I look back because I was like, I saw him in my mirror.
Yeah.
And I just glanced, and then I look back, and he was stalled, and I was like, oh, crap. And then I look forward, and I'm going off the road.
Oh.
And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? So I'm like actually like in the grass.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And I was like, this is where you fall.
Yeah.
But I just like fortunately just was not going. I was probably going like 40, and I
Yeah.
went in the grass,
Oh.
and I was like, my wheels were like sliding around a little bit. So I was like, I just had to let it do what it wanted to do, and then I ended up kind of down in the ditch a little bit, and then I creeped her back up. I don't know how I didn't fall over. It was crazy.
It's, that's where it comes into just like the comfort level. If you're comfortable enough, like the bike wants to stay up.
Yeah.
It's got spinning mass, which wants to like gyroscopically keep you up.
Yeah.
And it's got like, it's going forward. If you can just like not grab that front brake and you can just let it do its thing, it's all about the comfort. And that's where like riding a dirt bike my whole life comes into play, because like you just learn how to handle certain stuff.
I think I survived because you guys make fun of me for not using my front brake on the dirt bike, but I never do. Like whenever I get into oh crap moment, I stomp back brake.
Yeah.
But I just had enough like intuition in my mind where I was going off the road. I like feathered the front brake just enough to get me to slow down. And as soon as I hit the gravel, I let it go and like mash the back brake.
Yep.
And it turned out okay.
It is crazy on the bike how quickly you can get going a different direction.
Yeah.
I did the stupidest thing on my bike the other day. I was at an intersection where the two left lanes are turn lanes. And then you have a straight lane and a straight and right lane. And I'm in the straight lane, and I think I'm in a turn lane. Like, so sure I'm in the rightmost turn lane.
So there's a double turn lane. You think you're in one of them?
I think I'm in the second one over. Because the lane thing is weird on a bike, because you don't really feel like you're in a like rigid lane. You're just like, I'm somewhere in this lane.
Yeah,
I think,
you don't
right?
feel like you're boxed in or anything.
No. So, and I realize pretty much as soon as I start going and I'm going around the turn that I'm in the straight lane, and I just kind of like merge in between the two cars, and it was fine. But I was like, and I had skipped a whole line of traffic doing it, and I was like,
see, you can do that on a bike.
But it kind of was like a sobering like, oh, I really need to stop drinking so much before I go right.
Let me get over here.
No, but it was like, I was just like, shit, I have to pay more attention to this lane thing on these bikes, because it doesn't. You really don't feel like you're in a lane where you, like in your car, you can't move into different positions in a lane.
No.
I've got like 18 different positions I can ride at this intersection, and I think I'm in one of the 7 that turns left, and I'm not.
Being on a motorcycle out there with the cars is just a different like world. Totally different world. When you're in the like. People take for granted like being inside of a big metal box.
Yeah.
Because people are just like staring at their phones, like listening to music and everything, and we're out there like, we're just driving to survive. We're surviving. It's like survival mode.
Yeah.
You don't like. You get so many close calls on motorcycles, but they're easily detectable, and they're fairly easily avoidable. But you get a lot of them.
Yeah.
In my experience, like not exactly close calls, but like people pulling out in front
of you. A
you.
lot of sketchy moments.
Yeah, people not seeing you, but you know they don't see you, so you kind of like. But in a car, it just wouldn't happen.
I was driving at it was like 10 the other night, and this guy's on this adventure bike, and I'm trying to change lanes, and his bike just has 2 headlights that look like car headlights that are far away.
Yeah.
So it looked like a car that was really far away in my mirror.
Yeah.
And I'm going to change lanes. I got my turn signal on. I'm kind of like moving over, and I just like all of a sudden the optical illusion of the car far away turns into that's a bike right there, and I just like moved back over into my lane. I'd only come over like a hair.
Yeah.
And he saw me doing the whole thing. He was
Yeah.
behind me. He knew like
Okay, yeah.
he was taking care of himself, but it was still such a like. It made me like feel bad because I ride. So
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
I almost like I
You
would
almost hit a bike on
hit a
bike.
bike.
That almost never happens. A bike on bike.
No, I was in a car.
Oh,
I was in a car.
Oh, you were in your car.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the bike on bike thing is funny.
I thought you were on your bike.
Yeah. No, I was in a car, so I was like one of the.
I was like, that's weird.
No, and I was so like upset that I almost went into his
Yeah.
lane, and he just stayed behind the whole time until I stopped, and then he passed me. He was like,
Yeah.
"I'm not dealing with this dumbass." But his like it wasn't just like the one headlight, and it wasn't like two round headlights. It looked like a car from the front. It was so weird.
Yeah.
Which I don't like that because
They do that. I think those are on like the BMW adventure bikes.
that must have been
I
what
mean,
it
a lot of the
was.
newer adventure bikes
Yeah.
have the like you have the like the YZs or the not the YZs but the
Tenere.
the MTs
Oh yeah.
and the new sport bikes like that they have one on and then when the bright's gone there's two.
yeah.
But some of the like the cruisings will just have the two on all the time.
It just riding at night is such a different animal.
God, dude, I want an adventure bike so bad.
Me too.
Because like that like kind of takes. I mean, you can have more fun on a dirt bike on the dirt, but like you can take an adventure bike on the dirt.
There's I think it's called the TAT. TAT?
TAT?
Yeah, let me see. Look up T. TAT. It's like Transamerica. Let me do trail.
I want one so bad.
Transamerica Trail is a cross-country adventure ride. It's a trail that goes, you look at it. It goes all the way across
Let's see
America.
this.
And you can start over at the beach.
It's a trail ride?
Yeah.
What?
You can run
heck?
you can go all the way to Nevada or Oregon on the side of the thing. and it's like most of it is it's like off-road. I think you can ride it on a regular dirt bike. I don't think it has to be like
Yeah.
there's a couple like service roads.
Dude, that looks like so much fun.
Can you imagine riding a dirt bike across the country?
Yes.
Me too.
Yes, I
Me
can.
too.
I've done so many stupid things and this sounds like the next stupid thing.
You'd have to have like you'd really have to modify out that bike to have like all your tools, like a whole change of tubes.
I would just get a
giant gas tank.
I want one of those Africas.
The Africa Twins.
I want the Africa Twin.
We get a couple Africa Twins. We do
Mhm.
the Transamerica Trail.
Gosh, after
I
this summer, I
also-
should have a lot of money.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. This is when the
Very
the business picks up a little bit.
yeah. I want to do on my street bike. I want to start in North Carolina
Mm-hmm.
and come down around the southern states, and then maybe come up kind of up here. I want to hit the like down around North America or like the United States.
Yeah,
I want to ride the Pacific Coast Highway up California.
PCH.
and then I want to come up through like
Holy frick.
and even maybe come up through Canada a little bit.
Oh, that would be such
Can you
a fun
imagine?
ride.
It would be like you'd have to plan like a month and a half.
You know what I want to do? Before we do the Trans-American
Yeah,
Trail,
Yeah,
get this. We start in our little Raleigh.
yeah,
We take the back roads down through South Carolina, Georgia,
yeah.
into Florida. We take there's a highway, I forget what it's called, along the coast
Yeah.
all the way down through Miami. And then there's that like 200-mile bridge out to Key West.
No way.
Yeah, I want to do that. I was thinking about doing that in a car just to go to Key West.
It's a 200-mile bridge.
Look at wait, where's the map?
Is there
Look at a map.
Are there gas? Can you get gas in the
Yeah.
on the bridge?
I don't know.
It's my bike. I don't think my
I'm
bike
not-
would do
I'm not
200
sure.
miles.
I might be exaggerating 200 miles. It's probably like it's a super long bridge. Yeah, go all the way down to the handle. So you go through Miami,
Whoa.
and then this is the bridge. I mean, that's just a long bridge there, but it goes all the way. There's a one highway that goes all the way to Key West.
Damn.
Dude, wouldn't that be insane.
Yeah, there's probably like little gas stations over here.
I'm
aren't
sure.
there? Yeah. So
Yeah.
you can hit all the keys. That would be so much fun.
You know how crazy that would be?
Yeah.
And we could even up a little bit up north. We could like avoid Miami because there's 95 goes all the way.
Yeah.
We could avoid Miami and like dip into the Everglades a little bit.
That would be crazy. I would also just riding through Miami would be freaking cool too. Though.
It would be really cool. But yeah,
West Palm
that
Beach.
95 goes all the way down the coast.
Oh my gosh! And then riding up through like oil country in
Mhm.
Texas. I would love to ride through like New Mexico or Colorado.
New Mexico is crazy. Like the northern part of New Mexico is really pretty.
Yeah.
The like 40 where 40 goes, it's like kind of middle right here.
Yeah.
That's 40, and that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
It kind of sucks. But going up here
Uh-huh.
through whatever that toes, the Farmington, I heard that's super pretty because that's all
Yeah.
mountainous and it kind of goes in Colorado.
But I would want it to be like at this point I'll have to have a different bike for that. There's no way I'm doing it on a small bike. I want like a big full dresser, like big bike with
Mhm.
hard bags and a stereo and like navigation on it.
Stereo.
Oh yeah, going like fully getting
I'm
it
gonna show you
done.
This bike. This podcast is bike talk.
Yeah, it is.
That bike talk. There was this one bike that they showed me. It was it's a Victory. Is it a Magnum? Yeah, look at this bike.
Oh wow.
This is the Victory Magnum. It's got like the navigation
Yep,
and
yep.
everything, and it's got the stereo.
Dude.
Look at that thing. That thing is a beast.
I want to ride to like one of the big bike weeks.
Yeah. What's that big
Like
one?
the Daytona Bike Week.
What's the one in
This
is
is
it-
Myrtle Beach.
is it North Dakota? The biggest one.
Let me look it up.
I forgot what it's called. That'd be so bad to the bone.
Daytona Bike Week is big. Myrtle Beach.
Sturgis. I'm talking about Sturgis.
Yes,
Yeah.
Sturgis.
Oh, Daytona looks good. One of those 4 pictures, a couple of nice broads.
Yeah, it does. The
Harley
they call it
broads.
The Harley broads. The biker hoes are crazy. They
Whoa! Click on that picture. Click on that picture. Oh, it's so small.
Bike Week. What?
Yo, he's got some bongos on
He
his.
does have the bongos. No, but that'd be crazy to ride.
That
up
would be crazy.
Daytona. People die every year in this. It's awesome.
Ride to survive.
It's just like choppers everywhere. Like this dude pulls up.
Oh
and you're
my
like,
god. He puts everyone to shame.
yeah, we got to do it. I want to do. We can start with the Myrtle Beach one because it's close.
Okay.
They have regular bike week, and then like the next week they have black bike week, and it's like
What do you mean
it's just
black?
like mostly black people.
They call it Black Bike Week?
No.
This guy's bike. That thing is freaking sweet.
Let me see.
We got to get some cuts for our Transamerica trail ride.
Yeah,
We got to get some nice leather vests that say like
yeah,
something like bros.
yeah. We got to make sure, because I would love to do that. I want to get like the vest and put some name on it and have like an MC or whatever.
Just
but
gotta make sure we're not.
you have to make sure you don't make it look like you're part of any of the other ones,
Yeah.
or they will like seriously mess you up if they find you and you look like you're repping. Like if you just put on like a 1%er vest and you had like some big name, like if you had like
The Hell's Angels.
Hell's Angels on,
Yeah.
and someone who was part of that saw you, good luck.
What if they do? They know everyone in the club.
No, but they can figure it out real quick.
They can figure it
They'll
out.
stop you and they're like, if it's the worst thing is if you find somebody who's like enemies with the Hell's Angels,
Ooh, true.
because then you're riding alone and it looks like you're like doing like scouting for some
Yeah.
whatever. They do like serious crime in a lot of these motorcycle groups.
It's like GTA.
It really. Bike.
It's like our heists.
We just show up and there's like biker gangs everywhere.
Oh
That'd
my
be
God.
so awesome.
How do you? Is it just like a meetup or is it a ride?
I don't know, but when I was in Myrtle Beach for Black Bike Week, I was.
Oh my god! Look at that bike.
She's like 60 years old.
She's just photoshopped in there. But look at
Yeah.
that bike.
Yeah.
The Bling
at that.
Master.
Let's see. Myrtle Beach Bike Week.
I'm sure it happens during the summer.
It's Bike Week. And then there's
Dude, Myrtle Beach Bike Week's probably so scuffed.
It
Oh
is.
my God.
Well, I was there, and it was just the amount of bikes everywhere was awesome. I was so excited, and we got a really good deal on our hotel because it was like
Because it was Bike Week.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna pee.
That's so funny, dude. I gotta take a dump.
Okay. So I looked it up. Black Bike Week, which this is the Wikipedia page is Black Bike Week, and it says Black Bike Week, also called Atlantic Beach Bike Fest and Black Bikers Week. It's an annual motorcycle rally in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina area held on Memorial Day weekend. Blah blah blah. It's about riding, styling, and profiling. It's the largest African American motorcycle rally in the U.S. And the other one is called the Harley Davidson Week. It's like the week before.
Yeah.
It's mostly white. And
What the heck?
so it's like a bunch of guys on Harleys show up and then a bunch of black guys on Hayabusas. Literally. Like the picture is.
Oh my god, it is.
There's a bunch of them on Hayabusas and a bunch of them on like modded out Harleys.
What if
That's when we were there.
a white guy goes to the Black Bike Week?
I think you can. Like I don't and you can obviously like you could be a black person.
there's a white
going
guy?
Yeah. It's just
Oh, it's all sports bikes.
it's not even all sports bikes. There are like some
Ooh.
modded out Harleys. There's definitely some Harleys there, but it's a lot more sports bikes. But and yeah, like you could go, like we should go to Black Bike Week. Honestly, we shouldn't mess with the Harley Davidson week.
You think?
I think it'd be way funnier.
It would be yeah. Yeah, for the meme, FTD goes to Black Bike Week. We start asking kind of racist questions. That'd be so funny.
It's just so many people, and then South Carolina, you don't have to wear a helmet, so like none of them are wearing helmets. They're just all cruising, and the music coming off these bikes. When I went, it was like most of them looked like Harleys, and they all had like super loud audio systems
Huge
on them.
sound systems.
And they were so loud, like, and it was all these people were playing their music at the same time.
Yeah.
It was all different music.
I don't think I would wear a helmet either. If I was at Black Bike Week.
Yeah, if you're going around like just cruising around, just kind of slow
No
through this.
shot. No shot. I'm wearing it.
Can you imagine going to Black Bike Week? Would be so fun.
When is it?
A Memorial Day.
It's coming up, isn't it?
I think so.
Isn't it Memorial Day's first and then Labor Day's after?
That would be so fun. Just
I would ride down there. That's not that far.
no.
Was it like 3 hours?
I think so. We could get Adam coming with us too.
We might not want to bring Adam.
We might not want to bring
We
Adam.
might not want to bring him. His bike is shaping up.
It is.
I gotta say, I saw a picture of it recently, and he put that thing on that you brought him, the big bar. It looks pretty sweet on that bike.
Yeah, that bike is pretty nice.
With the short shots.
The short shots sound so
Are
good.
cool. Did he wrap them? Did he wrap them in something?
No, that's just how they look.
Wow.
Yeah, the bikes. Gotta get it. If you don't have a motorcycle, you should get one.
Yeah, I agree.
If you have a moped and it's not court ordered, you should get a motorcycle instead.
Yeah, again, welcome to Bike Talk today.
It really has been.
We've gone over trucks. We've gone over bikes.
Yeah.
I don't think anything else.
Bicycles.
Bicycles, yeah. Decathlons.
Yeah, Decathlons.
The
The Decepticon you're doing in April.
Decepticon I'm doing, and then we went from that to my tires are bald on your bike, and then that segued into
Just
40 minutes of bike times.
oh my.
I don't know what else to talk about.
Our best Instagram clip of all time
Is it Colby's?
is Colby sitting on the bike.
On the Vulcan.
It's got I'm trying not to play the song because it'll get taken off YouTube. It's got 6,812 plays.
That's so good.
743 likes, 3 comments, 1 share, and 11 saves.
That's so good.
It's crazy that many people are just watching it. I constantly get notifications on my phone. Like every day, at least 2 people like it.
That's so cool.
It's so funny. And the rest of them did like pretty well. The rest of the like shorts I've posted did really pretty well, but not close to the one of him just on the motorcycle.
Wow.
People like motorcycles.
People do like motorcycles.
Yeah.
And there's no reason not to, unless you're scared.
True. You think if you're scared, you probably don't like them.
But, you know.
Even people who are deathly afraid of them love them and get them.
Yeah. Like
Go ahead.
I was a little bit scared to get on the road at first.
Yeah.
And then you just do.
But I'm talking even to the people who don't know. Like, I've seen so many posts. People are like, I'm deathly afraid of this motorcycle, but I love it. And I don't know how to ride. And it's my first bike.
It's a 1000.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That's what Chandler is.
Oh,
With his CB 300R.
I want to ride with him so bad.
Tearing
I haven't seen him riding.
it up. Yeah.
Just the stories of stalling out around the turns and stuff is so funny. It's so funny to be a new rider.
I know. I don't know. I don't remember what it was like to be a new rider.
Me neither. Because
of the
7.
Dirt bikes. Oh, man. Before that, it was quads. So it kind of transferred over.
I've never really been a quad guy. My mom has a quad that I don't really touch because I almost broke my heel on it the one time I rode it.
The quads, they're just too rigid.
They're so rigid. They want to flip over. They're like unpredictable. They steer all over the place.
Yeah.
On a bike, you could just go. It's so much better.
It is so much better. But that one at your uncle's house, it's not a quad, but the side by side.
The side by side, yeah.
That thing is awesome.
That thing's a beast.
The
I did not expect it.
suspension is awesome.
Yeah.
It's like you barely feel anything while you're in there. I could see like getting into those.
Oh yeah, the side by side.
The side by sides are really cool, but the quads they just don't feel right.
The side by sides are like insanely expensive though because they break parts all the time. If you really ride them hard, they break. Yeah. They bust suspension and driveline parts all the time, and you just have to keep on top of them. So do those big jacked up 4-wheelers.
Yeah, true. Those are ridiculous. I don't even know how it drives the wheels.
I don't either. Well, you see them like
it has to be like a 90 degree drive shaft.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a mess.
I don't understand.
That's why I'm excited to go back to Busco Beach.
The lurching.
They just lurch forward.
That's a funny word.
Busco Beach is so funny because there's all the rednecks show up on all their vehicles that shouldn't even be running.
I know. The lack of motorcycles at Busco Beach is crazy.
Yeah. I want to bring my lawnmower there so bad.
Oh, you should.
Once I get it going. I've got a throttle pedal for it that just showed up. So I'm going to have a throttle and a clutch and a sort of a brake.
I just finished the video before we started this.
Oh, yeah?
It's a good freaking video.
Oh, yeah. That is, it's so funny that the mowers, I've put so much effort into trying to get that mower working, and it's just still not working.
I know. You really cleaned up the whole valve system.
Yeah, it looks a lot nicer, but it won't start now, and I think it's because my valves are not adjusted right.
Oh, really?
It's like super high compression, and I think if you adjust the valves perfectly, it decompresses it a little bit while it's trying to start.
Oh, okay.
So it's like it won't start. It's like when you do that. That was pretty good. I think that noise is pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, that exactly is what it's doing. So, well, it's been like an hour and a half.
That's pretty good.
Solo pod. Talks a lot about motorcycles. A little bit about pickup trucks. A little bit about bicycles.
Next time we'll have some more interesting things to say.
Little bit about decathlon.
Nah, I'm doing more research on the Masons and stuff like that. The Freemasons.
The Freemasons?
Yeah. And
for what reason?
Because my step uncle is one of them. And I heard some like bizarre stuff over my vacation about them.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to learn more about them. So I've been reading, and it's getting to a crazy spot, but I don't want to talk about it until I really know.
Okay.
Like, I mean, there's no really like objective facts out there about it, but there are some conspiracies. There's a lot of conspiracies about it, and I want to get fluent in my conspiracy theories.
Good. Well, we can have a whole pod about just the Freemasons.
Yeah, next week.
Next week's coming up because we're gonna be out of town. When are you leaving next week?
Shoot.
Or this week?
Thursday, I think.
Okay, so it'll be in the next 3 days.
Yeah. I'll get to going.
Okay. Get some research going. We gotta know. This and next one are gonna be the last two like sober pods.
You're going right back in? You haven't changed your mind?
No, I'm not gonna do. I'm waiting until the 3rd of March.
Okay.
Because then no one can give me shit for saying I picked the shortest month.
And then are you going full bore back in? Or are you doing just weekdays or just weekends?
I'm gonna maintain it better, get it more strict.
Don't you feel better?
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely on the alcohol front, yes. On the caffeine front, I don't know if I want to go back to like every day, but I feel like I probably will. I miss the caffeine so much.
Yeah.
But
it's nice just listen to the Huberman podcast about the caffeine.
You did?
All right. Just listen to it.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not like, let's just say he drinks caffeine.
Yeah.
Our Lord and Savior drinks caffeine.
Okay. Well, all right.
Ding, 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 ding.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you later.